Oh, it's good enough. Hello, folks. Hello, people of the internet and Twitch viewers and whatnot. Sitting way back,
Oh,
way back beside me. Do we want to get up, or do we want to just do the whole show from back here?
where does one typically do the show
Usually,
from?
we get right up in the camera
Oh,
and
okay.
we sit something like this.
Okay.
This is pretty much how it goes. I'm Brad Pluto Raymond, the assistant community manager here at Waystone Games, and sitting next to me, with the electric blue hair, is Kindra Haugen, who is not only an amazing concept artist here at Waystone Games, also my roommate. So that's pretty cool. So she graciously opened her home when I was looking for a place to live and was like, "Why don't you come live here?" And I was like, "Okay, that's awesome." So, how are you this morning? A little bit tired?
I'm a little bit tired, a little bit flustered, but good.
It's 11:30 in the morning. We're both very tired, but you've got your Starbucks to keep you
I do.
give you that little jolt of energy.
I
Right?
do. I was gonna try and keep the product placement out of it, but you've ruined it. So whatever.
There you go. Starbucks always gives you a little pep in your step. Sometimes you need it.
true.
Best concept artist EU is apparently what you are, even though you're a North American base. But
Oh.
we'll get to that shortly. The first thing we like to do here on the community catch up is kind of peruse Reddit, look at the forums a little bit, see what's going on in the community, because that's the main focus of the show. And then later we're just going to talk a little bit about Kendra's history. Oh, as you also may know, Kindra, interesting. That's the name of a shaper in our game. How do you
Oh.
feel to be immortalized in a video game?
It is interesting, especially considering the nature of the character that has been named after me.
She isn't the most pleasant of people.
No, but that makes me like her more. I'm glad, like, if they had named a character after me and she, like, raised fluffy bunnies and, like, hugged people for her
Yeah.
alt or something, that would make me sad.
that would okay. So you like the direction that Chris Latois has taken with Kendra.
I'm not going to complain too much.
Okay. That is quite all right then.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the day that I actually get immortalized into a game with the Pluto name. But
Pluto. I
who
hope I
kno-
get to design that character.
There you go. I do hope you do as well, because you could probably do some amazing things with it. So community catch up. Some background for Kindra. We're going to show off some of her amazing concept art. We're going to show some art tests that she did to actually get this job here at Waystone Games, and then we're going to reveal some new stuff that's coming into the game. Nothing gigantic, but some pretty cool stuff that no one's seen yet outside of the team. But first off, let's get right into. Is this the right tab? Yes, it is. Look, here's the Reddit right here for you guys to browse. If you aren't already subscribed to this Reddit, I highly recommend you do. It is a fountain of information and discussion and some key begging here and there, but I mean, that's what you're going to get. That just comes with the territory. There's 2,400 people subscribed to this subreddit right now. That number was like 2,000, I think, like a week and a half or two ago. So we're steadily rising, steadily climbing the ranks of awesome subreddits out there. I highly recommend you subscribe to it right meow. But you can see there's some cool stuff on here. One of my favorites that got posted yesterday is this piece of music by Andrea Chang, who's one of our really, really talented musicians here. It's a piece that is only internal right now. It's not like released, nor is it in the game anywhere, but I loved it so much when she showed it to me. I kind of started using it as like the outro to our streams and stuff. And somebody else out there liked it so much that they actually just captured that part of the stream and uploaded it to YouTube. So I think everyone should go listen to this amazing piece of music. It's only a minute and 51 seconds long. And I will play it as the outro to this stream as well. So if you don't want to go to that YouTube video or peruse the subreddit to find it, don't worry, it'll come at the end, I promise. There's also some good articles from various websites. Dawn Source is one of the best kind of Dawngate related websites out there. They have a lot of really, really nice articles that are written pretty much daily. They pump out these articles, and they're pretty amazing about it. This one that's most recently is the Dawngate Survival, 5 Avoidable Mistakes. And this has actually been an interesting point of discussion around the office, because some people think, oh, these aren't really mistakes, or I don't see this as a mistake. I think this is okay to do, all that kind of stuff. So I encourage you guys to read this article and check it out and, discuss it. That's kind of what Reddit is for. The comments are there for saying, I agree with this, I don't agree with this, give me a key, what have you. Do whatever you will in the comments, pretty much. And it also has really cool theory crafting and just kind of gameplay discussions. Like the spirit well farming, it's got 30 comments. It's a nice thread just about, like, the benefits of harassing spirit well workers throughout the game. Now, the kind of gameplay initiative that Gasty was trying to bring to the table there was the RTS style of harassing economy lines. So, in StarCraft, if you're playing the Protoss, you have all these probes farming minerals and gas and stuff like that. Sometimes they would, maybe playing against a Zergling, they would kill off 2 probes. In a pro level match, that could mean the difference between winning and losing, because not having 2 probes and your enemy is up 2 drones now can just destroy your economy and be crippling to the entire game. And that kind of mechanic is in Dawngate with the Spirit Well workers. They spawn, 1 every minute, I believe, per Spirit Well you have. Or, I'm sorry, every 15 seconds. Look, it's right here. It's written down in front of me, and I'm not even paying attention to it. But they generate bonus Vim for your team on a global scale. So if you're playing the Predator role, for example, you actually get bonus Vim for killing these Spirit Well workers. So not only are you, as a Predator, destroying and crippling the enemy's economy, you are bolstering your own economy because you are getting that bonus Vim for killing them, and it's really, really effective. So go check out this this thread. I highly recommend it. It's got different numbers on like when you should clear, how you should clear, if you should let the Predator clear. It's actually really, really awesome. And that's just a little bit of the stuff you'll find on the subreddit. And then in addition to the subreddit, you have, like I said, dawnsource.com. I've got MOBA Champion bookmarked up on my toolbar. They've got guides. They just implemented a new guide system, which I think is pretty awesome. So if you want to learn how to play Cerulean, hopefully there's some guides written right there. Look, headbutting sharks. That's a good Cerulean guide name. I think
I think so.
Has what spells you should take at certain levels. This is obviously a hunter Cerulean guide, so he takes Vanquish first. Leveling abilities, what levels you should get certain abilities at, starting items, core items, defensive items, blah, 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 blah. Lots of stuff, lots of information, and that's all at moba-champion.com. I recommend checking it out. And then, of course, the forums.wastestonegames.com. That's where we like for you guys to leave all the feedback that you may have. It's a hotbed of information as well. You've got these player creations. Have you taken a look at any of the player creations, like the art and stuff like that?
Yes, I
it's
have.
pretty. Do you have any
Yes, I
favorites?
Oh, geez. I think someone did a really awesome drawing of Moya at some point a while ago.
Really?
Also, people come up with really, really entertaining skin ideas and things like that.
Have you seen any? Do you have any personal skin ideas that you wish to be in the game, or do you just not care?
Oh, I do. I hoard ideas.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any you would like to share with the world?
Um,
Or are you gonna keep it under the belt until it actually happens? Hopefully.
I
Fingers crossed.
let's see what comes to mind at the moment. No, I can't because they're like the ones that come to mind are for characters that are not around.
Oh
yet, so.
man, well, you're fitting right into the stream already because we love teasing and we love just saying things that people don't know yet.
I don't mean to be an asshole, I swear.
Did you see the Zyro the Liar?
No,
This is Scott Moore. He
oh,
promises an
wow.
upside down chair, and there's no upside down chair.
That is pretty fancy. That's some expert Photoshop filter work right there.
I know, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that happens in our community. I think it's pretty awesome.
It is entertaining.
Are we giving out keys this stream? Just to answer it, Ryan Laughlin, actually sitting back there, is giving out keys every few minutes. Silently, though. It's not happening. What? Chat is down for him, apparently. Try opening an Internet Explorer. Sadly. Or Firefox. Something of that nature. Oh, we're having a PBAT raid. Oh, PBAT. PBAT is just bombing this place right now. But thank you so much. We do love Mr. Paperbat out there. But let's continue with the show. Why not? So check out the forums. They have the like I said, player creations and art. There's a Deviant art out there. I wonder if I have the link. Deviant art group. There's a few drawings there. Nothing substantial and amazing. I actually was using this background for a long time because I think it's a cool little portray of our logo. Moya, adorable. Look how happy that eel is.
The eel is so pleased.
That eel is so happy. If you guys are an artist out there and you want to draw some sweet Dawngate art, please post it here. This is a cool. The thing I love about these Deviant art groups is like they're just community driven 100%. So like if you even just do like a quick sketch of Moya, just like put it there, like why not?
Absolutely.
It's a very friendly community, and you've got, I believe this is you.
Yes, that is.
You are
me.
Ula Fish, and this is actually a piece of art that we're going to show off a little bit later. But this is your parasite concept right there. So let's actually go right into the art. Let's go to the main thing of the show. So, Kindra.
Yes.
How did you come to be at Waystone Games?
Well, I applied
That's
to
that's
the
a good start.
position. I
That's a good start.
started with the application,
Okay.
as one does, and they gave me a call to my pleasure and surprise, and asked me to do an art test, which I did.
Okay.
The ask was for a curvy wood nymph and an ogre knight,
Okay.
and such things I supplied.
So let's go ahead and actually look at this is Kindra's art test. So this is the curvy wood nymph. I don't want to
Yes.
get them backwards because then that would be weird. This is the curvy wood nymph that you drew to get this job here at Waystone Games. And curvy is the accurate description.
Yes.
Wood nymph, I see wood, and it's a female, so I think that works.
Yeah.
Now how did you? This was completely like conceptualized and drawn by you. How did
Yes.
you? What was your inspiration here? Like I see, she looks very woody. Obviously, she has like mushrooms and pine cones in her hair and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I just started with some sketches. I thought it would be interesting to do a little bit of an unconventional wood nymph where it was like fall colors and materials you might not normally see. Like you see lots of green flower, like green leaves and flowers and stuff with wood nymphs typically. So decided, I don't know, play with some autumn colors, throw some mushrooms in there.
Yeah,
I
I-
put mushrooms in everything.
That's just your thing.
And horns. I don't know why. So she has like tree branch horns.
I like how her skin is almost like it's almost like barky a little bit as well. It's not like human flesh, and it's only like almost part of it. I would say like her left
Yeah.
side is kind of exposed and barky, and I like her hair is literally just like autumn leaves. Like it's not like normal people hair. And I these mushrooms I'm guessing as well. Just,
Yep, they're shelf mushrooms.
Let's
There's
just put
shelf
mushrooms
pauldrons.
everywhere.
Yes.
I like it. I like it. So that was the first piece, and then there was the ogre knight, which you want to show some conceptual pieces first.
Oh yeah, there's actually sketches for the nymph too.
Awesome. So the thing that I was completely unaware of as far as game development and concept artistry goes is you guys cast a wide net at first. Like someone comes to you and will say, "Hey, draw this curvy wood nymph," and you will sketch out like 6 to 10 pieces of curvy wood nymph, and then someone like the art director, like Luke or someone, will sit down with you and say, "I like this aspect from number 1, this aspect from number 2, don't like number 3, this aspect from number 4," and then like it becomes like an amalgamation. You know, like the final product is kind of like a Frankenstein of like all pieces from different things. So
That's usually how it goes. I mean, it's never like pick this sketch and
Yeah.
then that is it. Very rarely is it like that for me. Maybe for better concept artists, I don't know. But since this was an art test and there was like no feedback process involved, I just did sketches. I picked one I liked and I built off that one.
yeah, so obviously we can kind of we should be able to kind of compare side by side. Boom. Okay, so this is on the left here. This is kind of your first pass at drawing curvy wood nymph, and you can see that you hit the nail kind of on the head with this first one.
Yeah, I was really happy.
You were
with
like,
that
"This
one.
is really
That's-
good,"
yeah.
but you still kind of took time to draw the rest and kind of see where your mind went and where it wandered. But honestly, it looks like you pretty much just did the first one.
Yeah, I was really happy with the first one. I had to like explore ideas, see if I could come up with something better, but it was one of those rare times where the first thing was the better one in my opinion. So-
Now, is that really rare to
Yes.
kind of strike gold on the first throw?
It is for me.
Sometimes it takes time. The creative process is not a quick thing. And then, what was this? Ogre warrior?
The ogre knight.
Ogre knight.
Is
Okay.
an interesting juxtaposition of a really crude type of race and like the whole like knightly.
So
knightly
these
elegance.
are the concepts here. So do these usually happen
Sketches.
in chronological order? Like, is this your first one? Is this your second one? Or do you jump around?
I jump around. Like usually what I'll do is I'll do a bunch of really super rough sketches that no one can really interpret but myself just to get the ideas down, and then I go through and clarify and like play around
Add the
with them.
details, kind of show what's up. So what is? Let's look at this fellow first. He's interesting. It looks a little bit more, a little bit slimmer, but heavier armor there. He's got kind of a thin sword, and then this guy just goes kind of straight bulk with tank, and looks like he has a giant shield made of something. And I like the size
Yeah.
comparison to scale reference. So he's a giant.
Yes, I was playing around with scale and materials there. Like, what would an ogre knight armor himself with if he didn't have access to nice armor? And it's just like turtle shells and cattle horn for some reason, various and sundry things.
I also like how the you also some of these kind of change poses too. Like this one is more upright, and he looks like he presents himself more as like a steadfast kind of knight, like valiancy.
Yeah.
And this guy, which is the final, which we'll kind of see in a second, is a little bit more slouched over, a little bit more I don't know how to describe it, like barbaric almost.
Yeah, I think he looks a little skeezy too.
A little skeezy. Is that what you were going for?
Yeah, like he was just like a big gross ogre that found a knight and like bashed him on the head and killed him, and then like found a magical way to enlarge his fancy armor for himself or something. I don't know.
Okay,
He's a
okay.
skis-ball.
So this guy isn't the nicest person in the world.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Now, is that something that comes into play whenever you're kind of conceptualizing these kind of things? Do you almost give them like backstories and say like this guy is this guy, like you said, is a little bit more valiant, maybe a little bit more of a knightly ogre more than like an ogurely knight, if that makes sense.
Right, exactly. That one is actually like my one attempt at a female. Like almost anytime someone gives me a brief, I'll do like one sketch that's the opposite gender just to like mix it up and like see how it works. But yeah, I kind of build up a bit of a backstory, usually just as like a byproduct of working on it. I don't really mean to, it just kind of happens, and it helps inform the concept, make it more interesting, I think.
Gotcha. Does this guy have a peg leg?
He does.
I think you like peg legs.
I do like peg
you
legs.
You do like
I
peg legs.
Peg legs, mushrooms, horns, and boobs. But I couldn't put boobs on most of these, so I gave him a peg leg. Gotcha.
So if you were to draw your perfect concept, it would be a peg-legged, boobied, horned person.
Yes.
That's it. That's
yes.
Kindra. That's Kindra in a nutshell, right
Probably
there.
like mushrooms growing on them.
And this is the final piece. Obviously, the most inspiration was looks like it was kind of from this guy.
Yeah, it's
down
almost
here.
directly from that one. Colors in this are really dark for some reason. I was working on a weird monitor, I think, but.
I mean, it still looks. I mean, it still looks great. I love like what is it? Said his hair it's just kind of dripping in blood a little bit.
Yeah, it's
no
just
big deal.
like kind of braided at the end with some like blood or whatever on it, you know.
Blood or whatever. Yep,
Yeah.
that's him. This is definitely an ogre knight, I would say. Looks a little trolly a little bit with the horns and whatnot, and hooves. You like hooves too.
I do like hooves.
You like hooves. Perfect.
I'm a fan of those.
Okay, so those were the two pieces that kind of got you at Waystone Games, but of course, there's stuff you've done before that. So here's some cool art that was this for anything in specific, or were you just like, I'm gonna draw like a Arabian Middle Eastern elfy person?
Kind of. I mean, I was at a point where I'd gone from I was a cinematics illustrator at 38 Studios, and I wanted to be a concept artist, and I didn't really have any concept art in my portfolio. So I just started coming up with like characters and drawing them just to fill it out and have fun.
Okay. So what was the whole inspiration behind this?
I was thinking that I didn't see a whole lot of mashups of like high fantasy races with like desert and like Arabian cultural influences and things like that. And so I thought I would do like a desert high elf.
Okay. Do you also perhaps name your art? Like, does she have a name? Does this character have a name?
She doesn't. I think I called her like Wind Caller or something. I decided that she was like a mage who summons sandstorms.
She does look pretty awesome. I definitely see a lot of the Middle Eastern stuff. You got the belly dancer jingle things. I don't even know what they're called. You got the curvature of the sword. I like her palm is like energetic.
Yes.
And energified. Yeah, I really enjoy this piece. This is pretty cool. And then, so like, did you complete this first, and then you're like, let's look at the back, or is it something again that you kind of jump back and forth and?
I mostly built that up first, but before that was done, I did like a quick sketch of the back, and then I fleshed that back sketch out after the front view was finished.
Okay, gotcha. Now, as a like you said, you worked. What were you again? A cinematics.
Cinematics illustrator.
And then, why did you want to jump to concept artistry?
Well, I'd always wanted to be a concept artist. I did the cinematics illustrator job at 38 Studios because it was a cool job that I couldn't like decide to be that beforehand because it didn't really exist. Mm-hmm. But I ended up in it, and it was really neat. It wasn't concept art, but it was still drawing awesome pictures of really cool things. So I did that,
and that works.
Yeah.
Now, how do you define concept art? Like, to the layman out there that just has heard the word in passing, like, what is it in a nutshell?
It's basically just visually creating the world and the characters that you're going to be immersing yourself in a game or a movie or whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
So how does the process work here? I mean, specifically, obviously, on Dawngate, you've done Kindra, and you've done a couple other shapers that aren't out there yet,
Yeah.
but of course look really amazing. But let's take Kindra for example. How was the process in creating Kindra? That's actually the next kind of piece we're going to move it. Well, I actually want to show off these. Pretty cool. So this a landscape piece.
Oh yes, this
Pretty
is
awesome.
an environment concept that I did for funsies.
Some goblins.
Goblin faces.
Like it, like the profile goblins.
you.
Some more goblin sketches.
More goblins. I came up with an imaginary MMO and I was thinking of player races, and this was one of them.
Does she have like a hookah bagpipe? That's what it looks like.
Yes, these are goblins that have like sacred magical instruments, but they're also really into smoking pipes and stuff. So they kind of try and incorporate that to their instruments to varying degrees of success.
That's pretty awesome. And then, I mean, this is probably one of your most recent pieces.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep.
Right. Hold on. Let me get it. Boom. So this is like a chicken lady, a kakori.
She's a kakori. She's like a bird person. She is a player race for a tabletop RPG / card game that I did some illustrations for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is beautiful. Like I
Thank
love
you.
I love her plumage. I love how she's like when you described this to me as like a chicken woman, it didn't quite like touch base with me until I realized like you've implemented chicken features like the I don't even know what it's called on their head, their red thing.
Yeah, the wattle. No,
It's something.
like there's a
The
name
crest,
for
it's
it.
a crest, it's something, but
Yeah.
like it doesn't look like, it almost looks like it's a headpiece or like a headdress or something. So she still looks like almost like a chicken, but it's not like she has like a silly
Yeah,
thing on her
like when
head.
you think like chicken person, it sounds really, really goofy, but they're supposed to be like a really elegant and sophisticated people.
Yeah.
So I just try to take the really appealing and nice aspects of like just birds in general and chickens specifically and incorporate it into her in an elegant way that looked cool and not silly.
She looks pretty dope, and she has a tea
Thanks.
hookah,
She
which
does.
is
She
which
has a
is
tea
something that
hookah.
doesn't even exist. But it was funny because I remember when you showed me this, we were talking about how would a tea hookah work, and we came up with crazy ideas. But yeah, I love this. It's so good. Someone said, "I bet she tastes good." Oh, they're gonna eat your kakori lady. Oh, that's sad. Please
well,
don't
I guess
do that.
if you like fried her and dipped her in sweet chili sauce, maybe.
She'd probably
but
be good.
It'd still be at least 80% cannibalism, so I wouldn't recommend it.
There you go. Now, okay, so let's get back to the Kindra. So
Yes.
Kindra is the shaper that a lot of people probably know you for, just because she's out in the wild, she's out there. She's, I mean, named after you for one, and she was like. We had Kindra and Finmore on our forums for the longest time, and like people knew who Finmore was, and they just called Kindra the purple girl,
Purple girl, yeah.
So they're probably more familiar with Kindra than they think. So let's go through the process of creating a shaper. Let's creating Kindra. So Dibs obviously is our lead shaper designer. He comes up with a concept, with ideas, with a kit and stuff like that, and then he comes to you. And what does he say for someone like Kindra?
Well, I mean, the briefs are varying degrees of specificity, I guess. Like sometimes you'll get more information than other times. So like with Kindra, the brief is just Shadow Assassin, but they wanted like a female assassin with shadow blades.
Okay.
And so that's what I worked with. I did a lot of really, really rough sketches before what I'm showing you now. This is just a cleaned up lineup of some of the sketches that I did.
So it looks like there's definitely an emphasis. It appears on like ethereal blades. Like these aren't like physical, blades. Obviously, I feel like this is pretty much kind of what they went with towards the end, kind of
Sort of.
aura-y shadow kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for Kindra, we actually didn't end up really picking any specific sketch. We chose a lot of qualities from a lot of these, and then I just started on the final. So I don't really have a sketch that fully resembles Kindra. That's probably the closest
This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's super cool. I like this chick looks crazy. Looks like she has like a helmet made of shadow.
She does.
I like that. And she looks like bucklery.
I was thinking masquerade sort of mask hat thing. I don't know.
Interesting. And then, of course, the Kindra that you guys know in game pretty much came from this. Boom. So this was a product of obviously a lot of sketches and a lot of discussions and stuff like that. But this is it. I mean, this is Kindra. This is the Kindra you guys know in game. How exactly did you shape this person? I like how you also included like a skull down here. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, like as I said, we picked a lot of qualities from a lot of different sketches, and then I just started mashing them together into a single sketch that just progressed into the final painting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was important for me to have her have that like neat shadow shroud and look really kind of diabolical. And I guess that came across because I never said any of that to Chris Latois, but he came up with like a really evil bitchin' character, which made me happy.
An evil bitchin' character. Kindra 2013. That's your quote from now on. So what is she wearing? Like what is this? I can't even tell like what time period that is from.
It's just stuff.
It's just things. It's just like a corset and laces and stuff.
That is what the noble women of our world wear. Okay, don't you know anything about the game that you are promoting?
I am so sorry.
No, I don't know. I come up with clothes, and it's a fantasy game. We can explain anything away, so it doesn't have to be from any particular time period.
Okay.
If it's influenced by anything, a lot of what I draw is influenced by like different specific time periods and cultures and stuff, but I think this is one of the more modern ones, just influenced by like, I don't know, sexy goth people mostly.
Sexy goth people. That's Kindra in a nutshell, I think, right there. It's perfect. And then let's see. So aside from the shaper conceptual pieces, we also have the striders, for example, that you see. There we go. So these are the striders, and I mean, like, I love this. I think this looks so cool because I love the giant key through the chest and the ropes binding them, and this is like a crying Locke back here. He's like, oh god, this is terrible. I don't want to be locked here. But what's cool about this is the fact that they, like, in the game, of course, when you destroy bindings, these striders get stronger and like they get powered up. But it's not something that just happens because of a gameplay standpoint. It's also kind of lore related, and this embodies that. Like when you destroy the first binding, for example, I think the first one is when like the key gets ripped out, or one of those. Yeah. It may be the ropes kind of unfurling, but like they visually get different as well. It's not just like, oh, this same Strider now just has a green aura around him and he's always stronger, be careful. You can visually see that they are completely different from their previous kind of iterations when bindings are there and stuff. So how did this idea of like a giant key shoved through their chest come about?
Well, this is one of the concepts where I had like really, really specific requirements to get into it, and one of them was like a giant bolt through the chest, and I was like, what is a bolt? As far as giant,
what is a bolt?
As far as giant things that go through things' chests, like what kind of bolt is this? What will it look like? How can I make it cool and interesting? And I just like, the idea is that like all his armor, rather than making him more powerful, is actually an encumbrance and it's controlling him. So the idea of a key just made sense to me. Yeah. I don't know if it would make sense to anyone
else.
No,
I mean it does make sense because it's almost also like unlocking his power. Yeah. You know, like it's kind of that kind of lame thing. But and obviously these guys get different visually and they get stronger as the game goes on when bindings are destroyed and stuff. Did you work from stage 1 to stage 3, or did you go from stage 3 to stage 1? Did you like take the big guy and compress him with the key and with the ropes and stuff, or did you go, I wonder what this guy without the ropes would look like?
I went from stage 1 to stage.
Okay.
So to the last stage.
Okay.
So yeah, because the first stage is the most detailed. He's got the most stuff on him, and he's what's going to be progressing into the later ones.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see, do we have any? I don't think I have any more of the Strider concepts. We can move right into...
I don't think I put any Strider sketches in there.
It's all good. We can go to the parasite. How about that? So the parasite is obviously, not a shaper, but it's something that a lot of people are loving and hating at the same time because he's very strong and he causes a lot of games.
Kills all the things.
He does kill all the things. He causes some people to throw the games. Yeah. And he is within the lore, he is a creature. I mean, he's literally a parasite that feeds off the energy of the Dawn Gate. He sits in the middle, and he just he just sucks up all the energy.
Yes.
And then he evolves over the course of the game, not just from a gameplay standpoint, again, just like the Striders, but because of the lore, because he's sucking up all this energy, he's growing, stuff like that. So this is kind of the first round of sketches that was done for the Parasite.
Yep, you can see many of them are still really rough and messy, but that is the first set, and it's just getting out lots and lots of ideas and having a lot of fun with it.
And I guess like kind of less detailed ideas are ones that kind of fell by the wayside, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they just didn't end up getting fleshed out a lot.
It's like this right here looks almost like serpentine, like a dragon, serpentine, like Chinese dragon kind of thing. But this guy, a little bit more bulky. He's got a little bit more detail to him. So I guess, does that just like whenever you realize that this isn't quite the direction you want to go, you're just like, we'll just go on. We'll just move on and start detailing other things.
Exactly.
Now, some of the most detailed ones that I see that I don't know if you could say whether they were like close to completion or not. I like this kind of guy.
Yeah.
And this fellow up here.
Yep. Usually the more fleshed out ones will be ones that the art director saw and was like, hey, I kind of like that one. Why don't you explore that a bit more? And then I would put more time into it. Or I would personally think it was cool to put more time into it. And then,
These two up here, interesting. They're a little bit more like avian, a little bit more bird-like.
Yeah, I went really wide with this one because the brief was really non-specific. It was just like a scaling objective creature at the center of the map or wherever. And so I got to try out a lot of stuff for this one, from boar monster things to
this
spider
guy's interesting. He's like a stegosaurus. Where did I just go? There he is. He's like a stegosaurus. Looks like an ugly French bulldog or something. An earthen bulldog.
Yeah.
And this guy looks a little bit more like, these two remind me a lot of like the wood spirit from Princess Mononoke. Big antlers, deer, kind of deer-like, or not satyr. What are they? Centaur-like.
Yeah.
And then this guy just looks like an abomination. He's just got multiple arms. It looks like he's kind of dragging himself.
Kill me.
Kill me. I'm an abomination. Kill me. So obviously there's some notes up here as well. Are these after the fact?
Yeah, like if I think of something I don't want to forget it, I want to come back to it, I'll write it down really quick, or if the art director comes by and makes a comment that I deem valuable, which many of them are.
So obviously you wanted them to be like bipedal?
Yeah.
Bipedal, spirit/ghost.
Yeah, I don't know why I wrote down bipedal, because he did not end up being bipedal, but at some point we're talking about that, I guess.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Gotcha. Creature sketches too. So obviously this was the first pass, or at least a very early pass.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we go on to this one.
Yep. This was after the art director had selected some qualities that he liked from the other ones, and we discussed it and asked to develop different things and different ideas, and so we narrowed it down and fleshed out a few specific ones.
Yeah, so you obviously, let's see. Let's go over here. We kept, kept kind of this guy right here, moved him on over. I believe this looks like a kind of fleshed out version of this fellow, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so.
And then eventually, of course, this kind of leads to, we really like one of these. And I believe this is the one that was chosen for at least stage 3 or stage 2.
Yeah, this is interesting, where we were able to kind of take qualities from, like some of these bottom guys here ended up being like the second stage, or like the precursors to the second stage.
Okay, gotcha.
And then that guy was the third stage. The more dragony one, we had the idea of him progressing from sort of a bit of like more wormy sapling thing into
I believe this is first stage. So this is stage 1 right here.
Yeah.
So this is, like you said, I mean, he looks kind of wormy. He doesn't look he looks cool, but he's not like super intimidating at this stage. He's just kind of like, ooh. Like when I think of Parasite, I think of like a worm, and that's kind of what I would picture. And then of course, as the game progresses, let's see, do we have stage 2 in here maybe? This is kind of stage 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is stage 2.
Yeah.
Stage 2. So a little bit more bulk to him, I guess. A little less wormy, a little bit more reptilian almost, with like the long, almost bark-scaled tail, in my opinion. And he's still got kind of weak, fragile arms. But I like the how he's like. He literally looks like an embodiment of energy. Like he's got this energy kind of flowing through him, and he's got this this bark head helmet almost to like just show that he has a face. How did that idea kind of come about?
Well, we were still kind of trying to figure out what spirit creatures were like and what like a thing that was siphoning this spirit energy would look like. And my idea was that he was just kind of a spirit to begin with that found and latched onto this place and started accumulating things that were growing in the area and like forming it into a body for himself.
So it's almost like a hermit crab.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a spirit hermit crab.
Kind of. And so the more powerful he became, the more awesome and complex and powerful his body became because he had more power to form it into that.
Okay, gotcha. I think I love stage 2, and stage 3, of course, obviously is pretty beast, which is right here. So he's very much like a dragon. Like this looks very dragony. Obviously, he's got, like you said, the more of the nature, more of the earth kind of around him, encasing him, embodying him, and I like the curvature of his neck too. I think it's super cool. Just I mean that's like such like a dragon thing, like a long neck and this crazy mohawk, this energy mohawk that he has. So I mean, is this again something that you drew stage 1, you're like, stage 2, how can I make him cooler? Stage 3, how can I make him even cooler?
This one actually kind of went backwards since we had like a few sketches we really liked, and then we decided to make one of them the final stage and one of them the second stage, and then kind of do some work to bring them together a bit, make them more cohesive. And then I just kind of, after those were established, came up with the first stage.
Okay.
So this one went backwards a little bit.
So do you have a personal favorite? Do you think this is your
personal favorite as far as the 3 stages
Yeah.
go?
I mean, obviously, maybe it's a loaded question because the third stage is the most intricate and cool and stuff like that.
I like the third one a lot. I like the attitude of the second one. He seems like just kind of a dick.
Seems like a jerk. Where is he? Look at this dick right here.
That's the first one.
That's first?
One,
Oh, that's the first one. I'm sorry. I clicked the wrong one. There you go.
Yeah, he's just like, meh,
He's got the curved hands. He's like, oh, good. Good. I like it a lot. So then we have kind of coming to a close, I suppose, because I really wish we could show some of the art of the upcoming shapers, but we can't quite yet. We're waiting on those to be revealed by some other people later. But we have the one thing that we can show that hasn't been seen outside of the office yet, so this is going to be the first thing. This is a little bit more than a tease, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We are doing not custom, but side-specific minions,
Right.
I suppose you could say. How right now it's kind of just one side is blue and one side is red or whatever. We're going to have custom sides, so we're going to have like the spirit minions are going to be, very organic or am I getting that wrong? No, the spirit side is more earthy and organic, correct? And so this is kind of the first look. This is your first pass on sketches of spirit minions. So these are specific side-specific minions for melee and ranged. As you can see, I mean, very mushroom influenced, as you like to draw. This is probably my favorite, number 8. He's like a mushroom turtle, and he's pretty funny looking. But I mean, how did you come up with all these ideas?
Well, as I said, we're still kind of defining the spirit side. So I was like, okay, either he could be like something that is again animated, like a spirit thing that has gathered things around him to give himself a corporeal body, or maybe he's like literally grown from the earth. So the idea of like these mushroom patches and mushrooms sprout up overnight, just kind of like popping off little minions. Minions inevitably get murdered horribly, and then it just like pops off more of them.
Yeah.
So that's why I have mushroom minions in there.
Now the cool thing is, like, I love how we are going towards these custom kind of minion looks, because it's not just like, oh, I'm purple side and I'm killing blue minions, or I'm blue side and I'm killing the purple colored minions. Now it's the same thing that kind of Luke was trying to do, our art director, with the mushroom camps and like our jungle camps, is like give them a little bit of a personality. Like, why not? That they're not just, sure, they're kind of lambs to the slaughter, but like you still want to remember them and be like, I feel kind of bad about killing this mushroom family. Like, they're so adorable, or like going to the Ugger camp, they're so well detailed and awesome that you don't feel as bad killing them as the mushrooms, because the mushrooms are freaking adorable. But you still, like, when I think of the Uggers, like, I can picture them in my head. When I think of the mushroom camp, I can picture them in my head, and they're really cool pieces of art, like, alone, like, and I think that's a really unique, and it's giving them kind of a, money pigs, never forget, says Caleb. It's giving them a personality that I think a lot of some MOBAs just don't give their kind of they give their shapers and their champions and stuff like that, and they may give like the dragon and the baron and stuff some love. But as far as I would call them maybe tertiary things in the game, like just the random minions or the jungle camps, I think they don't give them as much love as the other things. And I'm glad to see that we're putting that love into everywhere.
It's a different approach. Like a lot of the creeps and stuff in other MOBAs, they're things that you would just naturally be like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to kill that. That thing looks evil. But Luke, our art director, wants you to feel guilty about killing our creeps.
A little pang of guilt. Like every time you see us as a gladiator, you're like, ooh, damn, I'm sorry. So these were the concepts of for spirit side minions, and the ones that we locked down, sketches. Yep. We have the melee spirit minion.
Yeah, so this again ended up being kind of an amalgamation of different aspects from different sketches. There were some practical things to come into consideration, so we had to fit the rig of the other minions and things like that. So yeah.
So spirit side minions. He looks almost like at first glance the turtle shell and the sword. I want him to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but he's not quite.
Yeah, the idea was just to use
move the mic up just a little bit. Oh, boom. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. We're good.
Yeah, so we were just using only natural materials being animated by this glowy spirit stuff. So I was like, well, what's the natural equivalent of armor? Turtle shell. And clothing.
Or carapace, yeah.
Yeah, carapace. And then leaves and feathers for the clothing parts, wood for the limbs and the mask, stone for the sword, etc., etc.
I think he looks very, very cool. And then the obviously the ranged minions.
Yep.
Are these guys same kind of concept, energy based beings that just kind of have leaves and stuff shrouding them and stuff. He looks a lot more like, let me just put them side by side. Obviously he looks a lot more kind of avian. He's a ranged caster, and so was there a kind of a foil or dynamic you were trying to put in that? Like this guy obviously hardened melee person. This guy a little bit more floaty, bird-like, delicate creature.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to, with their appearance, apply what their function was, or imply what their function was. I think, birds are light and fast, and they kind of imply a ranged sort of thing for me.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't really see a bird like up close and personal, because they just have hollow bones and they'd probably just die. Probably.
Yeah.
Good old birds.
Depending on the bird.
Yeah, we may have like eagles or hawks or something. But I mean, I think so. The biggest inspiration is
kind of, I guess, number 13 for the ranged guy, and then number 4 for the. Number 13 for the melee guy, number 4 for the ranged guy.
So 4 and 13. So like, is it possible, like, whenever you have all these sketches, like obviously you drew 20 of them, whenever you have 18 of them kind of disappear, do you ever have a chance to like bring them back at some point, or do you ever hope that maybe, you really liked number 1, maybe he'll make an appearance somewhere else, or maybe you'll take inspiration from him in another project or something?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I will incorporate ideas from sketches for a previous thing into something new where maybe it applies more. So like for Shadow Assassin, there's one particular sketch in that group that I really, really love a lot, but it didn't work for the character, so I'm hoping that there are aspects of her that I can bring into maybe a later shaper. But so yeah, I will try to like resurrect things sometimes if I can, if there's an idea that I really liked. And so like, I was going to say something, I don't know if it'd be too teasy or not, so I'm not going to.
Oh man, well, like I said, we love our teasing, so I mean, if you want to say it, you can.
Well, there's some aspects of that wood nymph that I did for my art test that I really, really liked and really want to be part of a shaper, and I may or may not be able to incorporate aspects of her into a shaper.
That sounds amazing.
I may not be designing.
I like just leaving it up in the air, like you may or may not be doing something when you're probably
obviously are. Otherwise you wouldn't be talking about it.
But yeah, I mean that's been it. For the community catch-up, I believe we are obviously Waystone Games. We're the developers of The Dawn Gate, a brand new MOBA here published by EA. You can follow us on Twitter down below. You see twitter.com/thedawngate, facebook.com/thedawngate. We do stream pretty much every day, Tuesday through Saturday. Wednesdays, obviously, at 11 a.m. PDT. We were a little bit late today, but that's quite all right. Is our community catch-up where we sit down with a developer or someone, like Kindra. Not to say you're not a developer, I guess, but Oh God, she looked at me with crazy eyes. That means I should just end the show.
So, by the way, you can pay me to play pranks on Pluto since I live with him.
Oh God, please!
I am
if
well
if
placed
I
for
wake
that.
up and my hand is in a bowl of cold water or hot water or whatever, and I have urinated everywhere, then I will know exactly who did it. Son of a bitch. But as far as your personal stuff is concerned, like if people liked, these ogre nights and all your craziness,
All my mushrooms and boobs and things.
all your mushrooms and boobs, is there a place that they can see it all at?
Yes.
That you would like to talk about?
There's kindrahaugen.com, and there's also my DeviantArt page. Ulafish is my name on there.
Ulafish.
So, yes, you can find it through the Dongate DeviantArt group,
Yep.
which you can find through Reddit. So
Yeah,
if you're not good at
so-
remembering names, you can follow that internet trail to there.
It's a trail of breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Go to Reddit, find the DeviantArt, find Ulafish, and you found Kindra Haugen. Congratulations. Or Haugen, rather. But yeah, that's pretty much hashtag mushrooms and boobs.
Yes.
That should be your tagline for like your DeviantArt. Like, welcome to Kindra's page, mushrooms and boobs.
Well, you see my personal paintings at home. They're all just naked
They really
women
are.
with mushrooms everywhere.
They
So-
really are. Yeah, there's just a corner in our apartment that's paintings, and it's just boobs and mushrooms. Like that's it. Boobs, mushrooms, nymphs. Crazy things.
Yeah.
But that's your style, and you
It
do
is.
it very, very well. So
Thank you.
we're obviously lucky to have you here because we've got some. I can't wait to be able to show the stuff that you're making now, but. We'll hold on to it, and you guys will be excited for it. I promise. There's some cool stuff coming in the pipe. But follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/thedongate, facebook.com/thedongate, and follow the stream here below. We stream Tuesday through Saturday. We give away keys. Like Ryan Laughlin was in the background giving away keys this whole time. So congrats to those people that won keys. If you didn't win a key, register at our site, waystonegames.com, which is actually a brand new website. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. It's pretty cool. It's a little better than the old one. Hit that register for the beta button, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get a key in your email. And if you want to further your chances, then watch the stream. Hopefully you'll pray to R and Jesus, and you'll get a key given away to you there. But in the meantime, I'm Brad Pluto Raymond, the Assistant Community Manager here at Waystone Games, and this is Kindra Haugen, a amazingly talented concept artist, and you'll see much more of her work in the future. I can guarantee it. Because now that you're a full-time EA employee.
Yes.
Yay! Congratulations. No more contracting.
Thank you.
But thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you guys again with this amazing song that I like to play at the end by Andrea Chang. It's posted on the Reddit. I think it's like number 2 or number 1 on Reddit right now. So if you like it, give it a listen on YouTube, favorite it, put it on your playlist, do whatever you want with it. And until next time, tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. PDT will be our developer playtest, and we'll see you guys then. Take care.